Devin, we're passing you the word. Devin is an influencer of social media that is impacting the world with his way of being and showing up, and is not creating those results only for himself, but for the people that he's helping and serve. So take the word away. Who is Devin? What do you do nowadays? And then we can talk more on the topic that we selected today together.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me all right? You guys all
Yeah.
hear me? You're good? You're good, Tiffany. Let me see your socks if you can hear me. You're good. Oh, there they are. Come on. She's got them on. She's got them on.
So good.
So funny. So funny. Thank you guys for being here. And thanks for putting this on and helping people be able to understand the importance of amplifying their business message. So I'm Devin Schubert, and I am an online influencer through social media, through speaking on stages. And I absolutely love helping people get their message out to the world. And some of the things that I've been able to work through, and I'll go through some of my story, but after coming from a near-death experience, I was able to build up a six-figure business from one social media post. From that, I've been able to speak on stages with Eric Thomas, with Duck Dynasties, what Willie Robertson, lost his main name there for a second. Willie Robertson, some of the greats. And all this has happened because I've chosen to be authentic on social media. I've chosen to be out there and be able to share and not it just be about myself, but about bringing everybody along with me. That I believe is the most important thing that we can do when we're sharing about how we can amplify our business. Just like Tiffany's got her socks, she's bringing people along. Anybody who's wearing socks is going to think about Tiffany. And when we think about mindset and resetting ourselves, we're going to think of it. Is it Shiraz? Did I get it right? Yes. I'm really good at mispronouncing names, and I'm also really good at not lip reading when people are still on mute and they're talking. Those are two things that I'm really working on getting better overall in my skills. So, would you like me just to dive on in, or is there other questions that you'd like to ask me first?
No, you dive in because I know like we want to be visible. We want to show up so we can share our message and what you are doing is very valuable and very relatable on nowadays when social media is so relatable. So dive in and if the questions come up, we are going to ask you. Don't worry about that.
Sounds great. Excellent. All right. How many parents are here in the crowd? We got Jen. No, no. All right. Well, I'm going to share a story of what it was like to be a parent when I had my three adopted kids all living in the same house. And through this, I want you guys to see the emotions, how you feel, whether you're a parent or you're a business owner, you're going to find yourself being able to relate to this story. And this is an example. Normally, when I'm speaking, not just about how to amplify your message, I would just tell the story. But I want to preempt it with the opportunity for you to put yourself in this story and recognize how the story hits. And when you feel that spot, where it hits, where it's like, yep, I got it. I want you just to raise your hand a little bit. All right. And we're going to dive into how stories are so important in the way that we're sharing. I'm sitting at the edge of my bed with my hands engulfed in my face. My knees are holding my elbows, and the tears are dripping from my fingers to the floor. I had enough. Today was supposed to be a good day. My kids and I, we woke up, we had breakfast, made pancakes, we had bacon, we had eggs. We were all having such a good day. We went home, we had pizza. We were sitting at the table. You know what? It was a good day because the kids and I were doing what we do best: burp, fart, and talk about inappropriate things at the dinner table, right? That's exactly what happens. If you can't beat them, join them because we were having a good day. We got done, we were playing games. And then it happens. That one word, that one thing that can change your entire day. It can turn your kids from sweet, innocent little kids to tyrants that run around and throw fits on the floor. That one word is bedtime. Woo! Bedtime comes up and all of a sudden chaos hits the house. They start running around. They immediately, they are straight A students. They got homework that's got to get done. They have tests that they haven't even started yet. They have projects that got to get done, right? All these things. You then start to get them corralled into their room. And what happens? They now are the most hygienic kids in the world. Now they got to take a shower. They got to take a bath. They also need to brush their teeth and floss. Really floss? Now's when you got to floss? Okay, right? We get them into their rooms and finally we walk out. We take a deep breath. It's all better. It's all good. And then you hear the pitter patter. You hear the rustling of the sheets. If they sleep in the same room, you hear the whispering back and forth. You sneak in the door, and all of a sudden you see cars that are being played with. You see the iPad. Where did you get that iPad? Where did you get that chicken nugget? We didn't have chicken nuggets at McDonald's today, yet you have one in your mouth. I had had enough of this day. Now, whether you're a parent and you have kids that are causing you to just struggle, or you're at your cubicle at work and you have that one person that just taps their pen all day long, or you go to a networking event and there's a one person that's supposed to share a 1-minute story and they talk for 5 and the people are trying to interrupt and they just don't. We all have a choice. We all have a choice on whether or not we're going to let that 5 minutes, that 30 minutes destroy our entire day, or are we going to say, you know what? I'm going to let this 5 minutes happen. I'm going to let this 30 minutes happen, and I am going to focus on the other 23 and a half hours of the day because it was a good day. Our mindsets are what's most important when it comes to amplifying our messages. Whether it be in our business, our family, parenting, relationships, if we don't come at it with a mindset of, I have something that the world gets to hear, something that's going to transform one person, we miss the entire social media influencing aspect of what we get to do. I believe that you are called to be a leader. I believe that all leaders are created to be legends. And I believe that as legends, you are called to leave a legacy. And I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you that legacy starts right now. Too many people take their legacy to the grave with them and expect their lives to make a difference. I'm here to challenge you that your legacy starts now. And it starts with your message, your influence, your legacy getting out to the world. Do you know that we have a platform in just Facebook that reaches 2.4 billion with a B people? And people are saying, I don't know what stage to speak on. I don't know how to get in front of anybody. I don't have finances to be able to pay. Yet we're not even using the free platform that we're given, that most of the time, this is where it's at. We're sitting there with our thumbs just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, looking at everybody else's messages, thinking about, why doesn't my reels go viral? Why don't people comment on my posts? I want to tell you that probably the main reason why is you're not posting. You're not putting things out there. You're not doing what you're called to do. And so I want to give you guys a few tips on what it looks like. The number one thing people ask me is, Devin, how do you get so much engagement on your posts? How do you get that? I believe that content is king. That's what Gary Vee says. Content is king. I do believe that engagement is queen. You know that most people that TikToks or Reels go viral, you want to know how many clients they get out of that? And not very many. No, it's just a thing. And you know what? Thing doesn't help you survive. Now, if you get a bunch of TikToks or a bunch of Reels that go viral, you know what? You can create a program, but most of the time, you can't really help other people go viral with it because they're not doing the same thing you do. And so I want to help you be able to craft a quick message. The first thing, and Tiffany kind of talked about this with referrals and how to be able to help people tell what you do. I want to suggest that a simple way to be able to create social media posts is a simple from where to where. You're going to take people, what's their pain point? Who's your ideal client? What is their biggest obstacle? And here's where people struggle. Don't use their mind, don't use their emotional set. Use their minds. What are they thinking? A lot of people want to go into, well, I think they're feeling lost. I think they're feeling trauma. I think they're feeling, we want to be able to tap into so that when you look at my post, what exactly am I thinking right now? Wow. Right now I'm thinking Tiffany's got some pretty sweet socks. I would not want to fold her laundry and think about all those socks that she has to fold up. Do you fold them or do you roll them or do you tuck them? Like all those things. I'm just like thinking, what's she doing? How does that work? So the struggle, what exactly is going through Tiffany's head right now? And what exactly does she want? If she folds them, awesome. So what if I created an opportunity for you to never have to fold your socks again? Would you be interested in that? Absolutely, she would be. That's exactly what she's thinking as she's folding all of her laundry every single day, because I'm sure she wears multiple socks a day. You got when it's your brand. I have more than one orange jacket. All right, I'm just going to tell you, I have more than one orange jacket.
I was wondering.
So if I have a solution for the socks being folded automatically, Tiffany is going to be like, ooh, me. Now, how do I know that? We have to do that market research. When you're talking on social media, I want to challenge you to speak to one person and one person only. I only talk to Fred. I don't care about anybody else. I'm sorry. I don't care. You can fit yourself into my story, just like you did with the Good Day story. You fit yourself into that story because you know what? Maybe it was somebody tapping. Maybe it was, you got frustrated at somebody else last week. You fit yourself into that story. I was talking to Fred. Fred is my ideal client. That's who I tell my stories to. That's who I talk to. That's who I share everything with. It's so important that we craft our messages on social media in that simple form, from where to where. Now, what does it look like to scale this on an even bigger message, even bigger platform? I was standing on stage with a guy that I forgot his name, Willie Robertson, and I was in the top 4 of a dance competition. Now, let me just slow down, Shraz. I know that you're thinking this boy's got some moves. Let me tell you, it is not because I know how to dance. That was definitely not it. But I can tell you that I know how to own a stage. I know how to get up on the stage, and I know how to draw in the crowd. So here I am standing on the stage. Now, granted, I am attending this conference. I'm not a speaker. I'm nobody important, but I know how to show up. So I show up and I get called on stage, and here I am in the top 4. And we're getting ready to finish this dance competition, and the crowd is going wild. The crowd is the one who chooses the winner. No brainer. I know that I am going to win. So here I am. Willie Robertson's behind me. He's got this cane and he's dancing around with his hillbilly self going around here. And here I am. I got my orange jacket. I'm swinging it around and around. And in mid swing, Tiffany, this boy, about 10 years old, comes running down the aisle. And I'm like, oh, okay, yep, here he comes right up on stage. Now, he wasn't being like disobedient. It was pretty obvious that he had some mental health struggles. And I recognize this because my son has some pretty severe mental health and trauma and abuse issues from before I adopted him. And so he comes up on stage, and immediately the thought came into my mind. I was put on the stage for one purpose. I have a choice to make right now. Am I going to win this competition and go and spend a half an hour with Willie Robertson, my dream person that I want to spend time with? Or am I going to help this kid win? Mid swing, I throw that jacket over the back of my shoulder. I go and I grab the other contestants. We huddle around the 10-year-old. He's doing his little, thing that he's doing. And we start clapping. And he won. And he won. And he was in tears because he loves Willie Robertson. Who won that day? I walked away with a fulfillment of my purpose. Why? Because I know my identity. My identity is known as the man in orange. And I'm telling you, I get mailed and sent and traveled things orange from all over the world. I had a lady fly from the UK to give me an orange and blue suit jacket that costs over $1,000. These people love me doing orange. It's not just about Tiffany the socks. It's not just about the orange. It's about who do they remember you as when they think of orange. I have more parents that send me pictures of things of orange that their kids have and that they're drawing for me. Why? Because they see me and know that I am a father figure, that I love people. I see people where they're at. When I got done off the stage with Willie Robertson, I got called back to the back. Like the principal's office, don't want to be called back there. This time it was great. I got called back there, and Willie said, Devin, I almost don't even have the words to say. You know how to own a stage. You know how to own a room. You know how to own it for the kingdom of God. You know how to own it, not for yourself, but for others. Don't ever lose that heart. He saw that in me. That was the greatest thing. Forget the 30 minutes I could have had with him. That's the greatest thing he could have said to me. And I share all this why? Do you know who you're called to show up as on social media? You don't have to be a perfect copywriter. You don't have to be a perfect person to do goofy dances to make reels that go viral. You show up as you, and you will have more clients in your messages, more clients that are following you, than you will know what to do with. It's when we try and be somebody that we're not that we begin to fail. So when you show up on social media, know who you are. I talk about 3 pillars. There's 3 pillars that we should all have when we show up on social media. For me, it's faith, fun, and family. Those 3 things, you will see that in every single one of my posts, no matter what I'm doing, it will show up in those 3 forms. My followers know that that's what they're going to get. And that's why they continue to follow, is because they know what they're going to get. There's a consistency in that. And so another question that I get a lot is, how do I create so much content? How do you create so much? Sometimes I just get mind blocked and I just don't know what to do. There's a lot of different ways that you can do that. You can utilize like a content calendar. You can just batch create a bunch of things. But I want to suggest a different method. And this is where, even just like how we are right now on Zoom on this amazing summit, we're recording. And so if you could find somebody to be able to ask you 10 to 15 questions on a Zoom about your business, just anything, you have everything you need inside of you for the world to be able to consume. The problem is it's stuck in you, and you're selfishly sometimes holding it in. Yeah, it's true. We are selfishly holding it in sometimes. And I myself had the same thing. When I don't post for a couple of days, I actually have people tell me, "Hey, Devin, you're holding stuff in that I need." Ooh, okay. I hear you. I hear you. Why? Number one, maybe I got lazy, maybe I was busy, but you know what? It's not really hard to snap a picture and post something out there. But I want to share with you about having somebody interview you and how important that is. Now, if you have somebody ask a question, they shut off their camera, and then you answer it in a minute, 15 seconds or less, guess what? You have a reel. You ask 30 questions in a matter of an hour, guess what? You have a month's worth of reels to be able to put out there. And not only that, you can now transcribe that, and now you can create social media posts. And you can make multiple things, multiple posts off of one reel. So guess what? Now you got 60 or more social media posts. Find a picture and put it with it. Lots of things that go the best are pictures of yourself or pictures of your socks. One or the other. Those would be the best things to be able to do. Just put a picture out there and put your comments out there. Then from that, take that, write it up into a blog. Guess what? Now you got an SEO thing that you can put onto your website or something like that, wherever you house your stuff, and people can search and find it. And then turn it into an email. Turn it into a newsletter, turn it into an email sequence, create a lead magnet out of it. Guess what? You just spent an hour of time recording of videos, somebody asking you, and you created over a month's worth of content, all from an hour's piece of work. Now,
Wow.
how is that not powerful, right?
Love it. So good. Now, you are so natural, and often people, oh, are you done? I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Not always people have been this good as you are. So after when you are done with the talk, probably you can share some of your struggles or bumps that
Yeah.
you you faced while you were being creating the men in orange so
Yeah.
successful and very um inspiring to listen to. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've accomplished a ton of things in my life. I've started 7 churches, 9 ministries. I started a foster care system through the churches because I was a social worker for 15 years. And guess what? The system is broken. And my Bible says that the church is supposed to be raising up the orphans and the widows. And yet we're counting on we're not even going to go there. Started that up, helped build up an amazing moving company. And it was amazing. Went through a horrific divorce, lost almost everything in that. Adopted 3 children out of it. One was my ex-wife's biological daughter, and 2 foster kids. And it was amazing. And from that, one of my children, my son, ended up going through some pretty severe mental health and trauma issues. And from that, I took him on one-on-one because my ex-wife kicked him out. Physical aggression every single day, sexual issues, all kinds of things that were really a struggle. I ended up spending almost $100,000 to try and get us help. Took me completely broke, gave up everything, lost all my relationships, everything. We never left the house for 3 weeks at a time. We had to have food brought to us because I was afraid he would run away, he'd hurt somebody, something would happen. One time we had the police called, and we were taken to the hospital to try and get him some help from his physical aggression. And I found myself waking up in a hospital bed. And that had never happened before. I was healthy. I woke up and my trauma of taking care of my son had overtaken my body. My mind and my nervous system had completely shut down. And I was given 3 months left to live because there's nothing they could do to revamp that. They wanted to send me to a treatment facility. And I said, well, wait a minute. I just spent 100 grand trying to get my son into a treatment facility. Now you're going to put me in one? Nope. I went and stayed with some friends. I'm telling you, 18 out of 24 hours I was in my bed. I would stand up, have a conversation for 5 minutes. I'd fall down to the ground. They'd have to carry me to my bed. It was during that Jesus came, miraculously healed me, and gave me this message to go and share it with the world. That, Devin, you have a legacy to leave now, and you get to bring other people along with you. And then there's that one word that nobody likes to hear, the word, not bedtime. It's a different word this time. But the word but means everything that you heard beforehand, it might not even matter. You're going to need to go through the process. And I said, I don't want to go through no process, man. I want one of these cuts of miracles. Come on, one of these. It's like, if you go through the process, millions will be changed and transformed through it. Okay. All right. I got you. A year later, I had started up the coaching business and had been doing amazing. I got invited to be on a reality TV show for entrepreneurs. Out of 100,000 applicants, I was one of the 40 chosen to be featured. And guess what happened? 3 weeks before, I was given a cease and desist letter to my business. Here I am, an opportunity of a lifetime. Let's go on Prime TV with no business to talk about whatsoever. Talk about that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. I humbled myself. They said, if you have experts here, there's millionaire judges. Let them help you. And because I took that humbleness, I did very well. But I got invited back for a second time on that Prime TV show. And this time I got to share about a nonprofit that I utilize. And it's called the Orphan Heart, where we bring up kids that have the orphan heart or people that have gone through trauma and maybe can't make it. And we help with hope, healing, and healthy community and teach them entrepreneurial skills to be able to make it after all of that. I got to share all of that on TV. I mean, come on. Nobody gets to do that. It's amazing. So it came with all types of struggles to be able to get to a place of influence. But it also took a place of perseverance that I am not going to allow anything to stop me from getting this message out. And this is the one only thing that gets me through every single day. Because I'm sure each of you guys can recognize we all want to quit a lot. We all want to quit. We have those days like, nope, I'm done. And if you don't have a reason why, these are my 3 babies. Now they're 19, 16, and 15 now. But these are my 3 kids. I get to share my story because of them, for them. My legacy is not just for them. You see, I gave up everything for my kids. My one and only calling was to be a father. And the Lord told me, you've given everything up for the one. Now I'm going to give you the nations. Don't lose your heart in taking the nations and bringing people with you. And I refuse to give up for that reason.
Oh my God. Thank you. I mean, the power of network. You are an outstanding individual and outstanding speaker. And oh my God, you are making me tearing up. Thank you. Hmm. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being the source of kindness and never giving up and generosity of sharing. I mean, your authentic self without pretentious and being, I mean, we were talking prior with Shiraz, being a role model You are not
Mhm.
forcing it. You are naturally people want to hear more of you, for whom you are. So thank you
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you. Well, and I believe in that each of us, it's through social media, no matter where we go, don't hold anything back. Like give
Yeah.
it all. Give it all you got. It doesn't matter if there's one person in the room or 1,000. Show up because one person might hear that and go on and change the world. Who are you to judge that one thing? So no matter what you have, give it all away. If you're going to empty your cup, do it so you can get it filled up again.
So good.
That's what I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. The meaning of life is giving, right? And you are
Hmm.
going to receive in return. Thank you so much. Honestly, um, this is an event that I couldn't expect the outcome of it. I couldn't expect it better coming out like this, better than this. This is a great result. Has been an honor to be able to collaborate with you, coaches, with you as individuals, with the way you show up, and I said the way you inspire, very inspiring for all of us, for me, and so motivating to keep us going and creating beautiful, creating more of what you are creating, to being an awesome father, an awesome entertainer, very what's the word there, captivating, because every
Hmm.
single story that you share, like, it kept me hooked on your story, and I hope, and I wish the world have more of you, more of Shiraz, and more of every single speaker that's collaborated with us.